With my plans set in motion, I said goodbye to Chloe in smoky Bangkok, heading on my first ever solo flight to the northern city of Chiang Mai. I chose Vietjet Air, a domestic airline with terrible reviews but cheap prices, and after checking my odor status and confirming that I was in fact older than a 12-year-old boy, they let me on the plane for what was actually a comfortable and stress-free flight. Before long, I met up with Ollie in the land of Khao soy, and after checking into our hotel, we immediately found a restaurant making the tasty dish for as little as 80 baht. The meal was really good, and a must-try for anyone looking to come to this culturally rich land. But that was our first evening. What would we find during the day? Welcome to the beautiful northern Thai city of Chiang Mai. Ironically called the new city in Thai, this is probably one of the most historic places that I've been to so far. I'm just walking next to a 700-year-old moat that looks like it could have been designed in Minecraft. We're staying in the old town at the moment. This place is beautiful. It has well over 110 Buddhist temples. Most of them are free and absolutely stunning. We visited loads of Buddhist temples that day, but Wat Chedi Luang was the first temple I had found that didn't allow women to enter full stop. It was explained on the English translated signs that women weren't allowed into the building because they menstruate, a situation that locals logically concluded would humiliate and ruin the sanctity of this sacred place. It was said that disobeying this rule would bring about social instability, which is why the rules have stayed in place for over 600 years. Now I'm not gonna lie, Ollie and I planned to do loads of different things in Chiang Mai, but frequent nights in pubs and clubs stopped some of that from happening. We had a really enjoyable time though, playing darts and pool, whilst also meeting loads of really friendly people. Our first hotel was right next to 3 pubs all opposite each other, run by a German American, and an American in that order. The drinks were cheap and the vibes were chill here, so we kept coming back. There was also a decent club close to us called Zoe in Yellow, where again we went a couple times and had a great time drinking. This situation with the pubs and clubs kept happening for a few days, so regularly waking up around midday meant that all we did during this time was eat loads of really tasty food, and that we found in abundance. A couple days into the trip, Ollie and I spotted a Burmese restaurant on the other side of the moat. And not yet realising the historical and cultural similarities between Burmese and North Thai cuisine, we sat down to what would be one of my favourite meals so far. I chose a dish called Amir Da Hin, which is basically a tomato beef curry with really good flavours. And Ollie chose Khao soy nut, which is kind of like noodles with a pork mince and a tasty sauce.
Reminds me of Asian bolognese.
We also shared this thing called nơ lung, which is like Asian chicken stuffing balls with a sweet chili dip. I didn't realise this until days later, but Chiang Mai is famous in that region of the world for their beef and buffalo. According to this Thai stoner I met, Chiang Mai gets this premium beef from Laos, and Asians from everywhere come to the Thai city for the famously good quality meat. So I feel very lucky to have stumbled across this Burmese dish. Everything on that table was so tasty and I can't recommend the swan enough. My meal and drink came to around £8, so it is so worth it. The next night we went to a touristy and more expensive food night market where again I had a couple of really nice things. They had live music which was cool. And I started with a Khao soy beef bao, basically a pimped out beef sandwich, and also a banh mi barbecue pork sandwich, which is basically a Vietnamese sub. The two were 260 baht, and not that big either, so definitely not the cheapest, but well worth it to experience once. The Vietnamese sub is said to be everywhere in Vietnam, so I'm looking forward to having this more and more when I'm in the country next month. After 4 days, we decided to stay in Chiang Mai and booked more nights at another hotel, the Vista, not too far away from the centre. And I don't mention the places I stay in that much because most are the same, but for just over £10 a night, I experienced probably the comfiest beds and cleanest rooms I have found so far. I definitely recommend staying here if you go to Chiang Mai. Weirdly, this place is meant to be more polluted than Bangkok a lot of the time. And right now, where we travelled from a very polluted Bangkok, Chiang Mai is meant to be even worse. Apparently the worst time of the year for pollution in this city is March, so we're going to be narrowly avoiding that. And it feels weird because unlike Bangkok, where it was sort of a bit smoky and oh wow, fish! Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by some fish in the water. This place is really, really nice. That's crazy. Ollie and I just tried some durian fruit, something that has been banned in practically every hostel and hotel I've stayed at over the last month on account of its pungent smell. And as you can see from the footage, I didn't really like it that much.
It kind of tastes like gone off avocado.
It's weird, but we've done it. And where we're staying in the old town, it is quite touristy, but it's a good mix of old and young tourists. There's a lot more chilled out pubs and bars here, as opposed to Bangkok, where you've just got crazy nightclubs and absolutely everything going on. This place feels like it's a lot more laid back, and at the same time all the history that's around here is just completely beautiful. I know I look hot and sweaty at the moment, but another thing that I like about this place is the heat. So I'm walking around at about midday. It's the hottest that it gets during the day, but in the evening you get this kind of breeze. We're in the Thai Highlands at the moment, so it's nice. It sort of makes me think of, it sort of reminds me of Portsmouth in the summer, a bit in the evening. It's quite cool. So here we are on the mountain of Doi Suthep. I don't know whether I pronounced that right. We took a grab ride up here that was about 500 baht, and I haven't had it before, where I've got in the taxi and immediately the man's been like, one-way trip isn't worth it to me, you need to keep me for the way back as well. So we've agreed a 600 baht cash deal, and he's waiting for us down at the bottom. We took this beautiful windy road all the way up here. I managed to get some footage of that. And now we're meant to see a really famous, beautiful Buddhist wat.
Bruh.
Are you ready, Ollie?
Aye, aye, Captain.
We're trying to find an emerald Buddha at the moment. There's meant to be one here. There was one at the Grand Palace too, but obviously if you remember, I wasn't able to film in the Grand Palace, so I'm hoping to get a snap of one here. I feel very fortunate to be here right now. We're just at the steps of the temple and we're overlooking the entire city of Chiang Mai. This is a very remarkable place. Okay, I've just realised that the Emerald Buddha here is actually a model of the Emerald Buddha at the Grand Palace. So again, we have missed out on footage, but this is still a really nice place. Certainly worth the visit, especially for the view. It's a shame that Chiang Mai is a bit hazy. I don't know whether that's anything to do with pollution or just the time of year. You can still see a lot of it though. I think if you asked me to describe all Buddhist temples in one word, I'd have to go with golden. Yeah, they really like that colour. The vast majority of Buddhist temples that I've seen, if not all of them, all have gold paint. The Buddhas are typically painted gold, and I like it a lot. Unacceptable! You want Chinese fried chicken?
Yeah, that's famous in Singapore.
Oh yeah, the Hanese. That's they were the people who lived on the clan jetties in Georgetown as well. Those are like the main people.
Civilized people have the
Pick it up.
They got no clue. What is it?
Chinese tea.
Chinese tea? Yeah. Okay, well then. Chinese tea. Is it fizzy? I don't know. What's fizzy? Oh, sweet. That's very sweet. Give it a 7 out of 10. Soupy. Oh, when I was looking today, it was half day, full day. If I knew it was 2 hours, I would have went.
So it's our last full day in Chiang Mai on a beautiful Monday morning, and whilst people in the UK are asleep at the moment and getting ready for another Monday at work, we're going to see some elephants. Other than the random elephant I saw being ridden in Ayutthaya and a few I've seen in zoos, I never really seen an elephant before, so I was really looking forward to this. And fortunately, I wasn't disappointed. We were driven to the elephant sanctuary where we were first given a safety brief on elephants. They gave us these poncho type things to make sure we didn't get too dirty and took us down to where the elephants were feeding. Elephants have an amazing sense of smell, so we were given some bananas and watermelon to feed the animals so they could get used to our smells and recognize us as friendly little primates.
You have two.
Don't worry, got a banana for you. So here we are in the world of Chiang. I learned today that Chiang means elephant in Thai.
As we can see.
We're on an elephant sanctuary. There's meant to be just over 100 elephants here. We've got about 3 down here at the moment that we're feeding watermelon to. There were another 2, a baby and a child, but they've gone off to the forest. They might be back later. This place is really cool. Next, we were tasked with creating a medicine mixture of probiotics with loads of other good stuff to keep the elephants healthy, particularly in terms of regular bowel movements. I learned that elephants eat 10% of their body weight each day, and with a newborn weighing around 100k and an adult about 3 to 5,000, you can imagine the amount of food they need to eat. Apparently an elephant will die within about 4 days if it doesn't have a poo, so these things are important. The great thing about this elephant sanctuary was that we were following the elephants around about their usual routine. So after feeding them, we were able to take pictures around the elephants whilst they ate bamboo, and then it was a matter of waiting until they decided they wanted to have a bath.
Okay. More.
Where the elephants went, we went. So as they headed to the lake to bathe, we followed, and because they recognised our scent from earlier, we were able to bathe the elephants in the water too.
Make one group photo. A photograph of like.
After this, they went to a mud pool to relax from the sun. Elephants can only sweat through their feet, so they put mud on themselves to cool them down. I didn't get in the mud, but it was amazing just to watch. After this, we left the elephants to it and went to get our complimentary lunch.
Okay, so after this, please clean yourself.
For £45 a ticket and everything included, along with transport, this was a very special activity to go on and definitely worth it for anyone coming to Chiang Mai. Another cool thing is that the elephant sanctuary only grows about 10% of their food, so a lot of the money that we spent on this trip goes to local businesses as they need to find fruit and veg stalls to be able to feed all these elephants.
Stand up, don't squat or sit down.
Man, if you're thinking of going to Thailand, you've got to give Chiang Mai a visit. We were originally intending to be here for 4 days. I think we've been here for 9 days now. This place is just so chilled out. It's got everything you want. We've spent quite a few days here in pubs, met some really nice, interesting people who all live around here. It's true what they say that the north is cheaper than the south, and especially considering how much the Chiang Mai has to offer, this place is really good value. If you're looking for culture, it has it. If you're looking for a chill nightlife, it has it. If you're looking for an exciting nightlife with, you know, clubs and people absolutely everywhere, then it has that too. I don't know, Ollie, what else would you say about Chiang Mai?
I'd say the vibes are immaculate. Great place. Great people. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Definitely have to come here.
Yeah, honestly. I spoke to this American guy yesterday who was one of these motorbike travelers. Genuinely, he's officially unemployed and he just travels around the world. He feels that Chiang Mai is one of his favorite destinations. He did warn that in around March time the pollution here gets bad and then it becomes slightly unpleasant. But that's not even the fault of the Thais or the surrounding area. That's just because of where they are geographically and a lot of the pollution from India and China just makes its way down here and then sits here. So it's unfortunate for the locals, but this place is everything you want on a Thai experience. It almost feels a bit like Chiang Mai is kind of what Bangkok was maybe 10-15 years ago, only in terms of the prices that are around here. We're going off to Pai now, which should be a completely different, beautiful experience of North Thailand too. I highly recommend this place.